Hi, and welcome to Biz Talk with Zita. Today we're going to be talking with Steve MacDonald of Studio HDV. Steve is a renowned brand strategy and social media consultant. He has worked with Fortune 500 companies like Coke, Nike, and Procter & Gamble. And he has adapted the most practical marketing advice and tools to be highly useful for small business owners and entrepreneurs who need to make a difference with little or no budget. So welcome, Steve. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Zita.
Thank you. So let's talk about this little or no budget. It seems that a lot of people are interested in getting a wider knowledge of their businesses, and yet many are strapped with little or no budget. So tell me how you help them.
Well, that's the big revolution of social media. Is it used to be that you would, in order to get a lot of marketing support, you had to go and buy an ad in newspaper or on television or radio. But now there's so many things that you can do in social media that all it really requires is some elbow grease, if you know what to do. If
you know what to do.
Right.
Exactly. Social media has taken on quite a big mantle. It used to be just this, and now it's this, that, and that. And so can you define social media for the audience?
Sure. I mean, I actually just got through doing a study, and I talked to 6 of the largest social media experts in the country. They had 6 different answers, and they told you if you talk to 6 other people, you're going to get 6 more answers.
Exactly.
So the social media landscape, it changes all the time. 3 years ago, Twitter wasn't on the scene. There's actually a site called killerapps.com that lists the social media new technologies that are coming out every single day. So these social media experts, they say, we're dumb in this space. We actually are learning ourselves. But if you think about it really practically, what it is if you can take word of mouth and you can put word of mouth online so that you're intersecting with people that are looking for advice on what to purchase, that's good. That's what social media can do in its purest form.
And earlier we were talking about the impractical and the practical aspects of social media. Let's take a brief look at some of the impractical uses of social media.
Well, I mean, with social media, you hear all kinds of things in the news. The things that make it into the press are really great. You hear about JetBlue is actually using Twitter as a customer service tool. And you think, that's fantastic. What's Twitter? And what's JetBlue doing? And then you think, well, how does that apply to me? How can I actually use that on a practical basis? So what I've set out to do when I was doing those interviews and everything in my business is to say there's 2 different camps. There are the places where there are viral campaigns, there are things that you don't really know what the return on investment is, and then there are things that are on an intuitive level, things that are really practical that you know are going to help your business. And that camp is, how am I going to get into the Google rankings? How do I get ranked high on the search engines? Because I know intuitively if that happens, it's going to be good for my business.
Well, okay, so then let's talk about the elbow grease, because you said social media is good and it only takes a little elbow grease, but you need to know which elbow to be greasing, apparently.
Well, if you think about it this way, most people know we have a website. It may be small, it may be just a brochure online, but I have a website. If you think about that is, I have now real estate on the net, and that real estate can come up in those search rankings. So what you want to do is you want to find more ways to put more real estate online about you and your company and what you do. And if that real estate you put online has the right keywords that people are going to be typing in, that they're looking for what you have to offer, then they're going to have more opportunities to find you. So that's what the practical side really is. How do I get more opportunities to be found on the internet through searches?
Okay, great. And then you have the big idea that you need to take your branding strategies and wrap it around your social media strategies. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, if you talk to most social media experts, they'll actually tell you that social media starts with brand strategy, because everything you do online is all optimized. And when they say optimized, what it really means is that there's keywords. So what you would optimize for your business, what I would optimize for my business would be completely different keywords. So developing a keyword strategy, you have to know exactly what it is that you're promising and that you're offering, and then you have to know how people are looking for that online. So if you go through a brand strategy and you know, how am I connecting with customers that are looking for what I have to offer, then all of a sudden you say, okay, now I have a leg up in my social media. Otherwise, your social media will be like a lot of other of your marketing tactics, where you're kind of throwing things against the wall and you're hoping something's going to stick. You want to be really efficient with what you do in your social media, because you can spend a lot of time, and if you do it and you're optimizing for the wrong keywords, then you're just wasting your time.
Right. It would seem to me that you would also have to have a really strong idea of who your customer is that you're trying to attract, because the keywords that you're using need to be attractive to those clients that you are trying to attract. So can you talk a little bit about how you take your brand and focus in on the client that you're trying to find?
Right. Well, I actually, when I engage in a brand strategy with a new client, I don't do it unless I can talk to their core loyal customers. And the reason why is they're the customers that are going to have repeat business. They're the customers that you want to emulate time and time again. They're the ones that have decided, for some reason, I want to have a relationship with you. So if we look at a group of all of those similar customers and we say, what is it that unites them? And what is it that really is going to make a difference of why they connect and stay loyal? Because loyalty is kind of a funny thing. Think about it like in our society. We're fickle, we're skeptical, we don't give loyalties out to just anybody, especially companies. They have to earn that loyalty. So I want to know, how did that company earn loyalty with those customers? And when I find that out, it's always more, it transcends loyalty to a product. It's loyalty because for an ongoing reason, you've been satisfying a need that they couldn't satisfy themselves. And that need is always 100% emotionally based.
Absolutely.
That is the heart of the matter. So if you can figure that out in that relationship, now you're ahead of 99% of your competition that just thinks, I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to talk about my product. And they don't look at it in the right way. Where the right way is your product and service is a means to satisfying that need. You have to focus on that need.
You have to focus on that need, and you have to come from that point of view of what's in it for me, not for me, the person who's selling or marketing, but in what's in it for me, for my client, because they're all listening to that radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me?